What is up, Sugar Boogers? We're back again today with another video in a series I like to call What'd That Perk Do? This is the second video in the series with more to come. If you're new here, this is a series where I tell you what perks can do, what other perks tend to pair well with them, and I give you some fun and unique builds to try them with. I know that for a lot of new players, the amount of perks and things in this game can make everything so overwhelming, so that's why I'm here. I'm here to simplify things for you. Today's perk, because we're going in alphabetical order, is Adrenaline. Adrenaline activates when the last generator pops in the game. It heals you one health state, meaning that if you're on that ground bleeding out, you can pick yourself up instantly, but you'll still be injured. If you're injured and adrenaline goes off, then you become fully healed, which is amazing and a really useful perk actually. Alongside healing the full health state, you also get a really nice speed boost to help you get away from the killer chasing you, or to also help you get to those exit gates faster. The speed boost only lasts 3 seconds, so y'all better make it work to the best of your abilities. Being an endgame perk, you better prepare to do lots and lots and lots of gens. So many gens. Adrenaline is one of those perks that I like to call a universal perk, meaning that this beauty right here can be used in almost any kind of build. It's an endgame perk that, when played correctly, can change the course of an entire game. As a universal perk, Adrenaline meshes very well with just about any of the other ones. It even goes as far to ignore the exhausted state, so you can still pair it with another exhaustion perk like Sprint Burst, Lithe, and Balanced Landing. So I've put together 3 drastically different builds that could be really fun to try out with Adrenaline, just to show you how versatile it can actually be. This first build is something I like to call Can't Keep Me Down. This build relies solely on you irritating that killer enough to the point where they just leave you on the ground because they can't hook you right, and then they just leave you to bleed out. But with this build, it's not gonna work the way they think it is. This also can be used against a slugging killer who refuses to hook anybody all game and leaves you down for the count. So let's get started. The perks I used for this build were the following. Unbreakable, a build perk that allows you to recover faster from the dying state. To mesh well with that, we've added Tenacity, a detective tap perk that allows you to crawl and recover at the same time. Those two, Unbreakable and Tenacity, are going to mesh very well together because you can crawl away and heal yourself all the way up a health state. To mesh well with those two, I've added in Plot Twist, which is a Nicolas Cage perk that lets you put yourself into the dying state and then pop back up fully healed with a speed burst for a short amount of time. This is like bringing your own med kit without actually bringing a med kit. It's great. And then, of course, to finish off our build, we have our star of the show, Adrenaline. This is a neat and amazing build. 10 out of 10 recommend. You can move things around, but I think it meshes pretty well. Our second build is something I like to call the end game. So typically, end game perks mean that you can make an entire end game build. Since Adrenaline is an end game perk, it means that we can add other end game perks to create a build that just is entirely focused on getting out safe and alive, and also maybe helping some of our solo queue teammates, you know? It's really nice. This is a fun one that I really like to use when I want to spice up my game. For our first perk, we have Hope, a general perk that's available for all Survivor players. It gives you a speed boost after those exit gates are powered, and it pairs super well with Adrenaline's own 3-second speed boost. So you can be like really fast, insanely fast. We've paired that with Wake Up, a Quentin perk that's going to let you see those exit gate auras. You are also going to be able to open them faster, which is going to give you an even better chance of escaping before the killer even manages to make it over. We also have No One Left Behind, which is another general perk. It gives you speed bonuses to actions like unhooking that survivor that got endgame hooked, as well as speed bonuses to healing said teammate at the exit gate directly in front of the killer with absolutely no fear, and then the oh so familiar teabagging as is custom in the Survivor Handbook. And then, of course, Adrenaline is added to the end of that. So this build is going to let you get out so quickly and also help your own teammates because, you know, no one likes being left behind. Let's say you're maybe not all that into chases. You like to live life on the safe side and skulk about the shadows. That's fine by me, and it's a completely valid way to play the game. I've got a pretty nice build for y'all. This one centers around a gen jockey position. The perks for this build are Hyper Focus, a Rebecca perk that allows you tokens for every great skill check that gradually speeds up your gen progress bar. This is an amazing perk that gets things done. Not very good at hitting great skill checks without blowing your gen up? Don't worry, because our next perk is Stakeout, a detective tap perk that grants you up to 4 tokens for being in the killer's terror radius. With this perk, everything counts as a great skill check, so long as you don't miss it, which is awesome because Hyper Focus has this one teeny tiny downside to where as you get tokens, you get more skill checks and they're sped up. So it's a little tiny issue, but don't worry because Detective Tap's perk Stakeout is going to be great for that. If you're playing solo queue, you're definitely going to get the most out of this perk, Fast Track. It's a Yunjin perk that gives you up to 27 tokens based on how many times your teammates have been hooked. These tokens give you progress when hitting, you guessed it, great skill checks on gens. So they really give you the final oomph to get the gens done. So those are all going to tie up really nicely with each other because Detective Tap's perk Stakeout is going to give you all of your tokens that you need to hit those great skill checks. Fantastic. All you have to do is stand within the killer's terror radius and you're great. It's not too difficult to do that because, you know, killer is really wide. The only fault I can find in this is if you have a killer that has no terror radius like Michael Myers or Ghostface. So in that point, this would be a little bit useless, but it'll work out. And that is it for our adrenaline video today, guys. Leave a comment down below on some builds that you would use for adrenaline. And feel free to leave a like or a dislike. They all help in the end. And please subscribe if you want to see more like this. Have a great day. Bye!